poem is in honor of homeless mothers and poor mothers,
low-wage mothers and no-wage mothers,
welfare mothers and three-job working mothers,
immigrant mothers and incarcerated mothers.
In other words, this poem is in honor of INS with, CPS with,
CPS with, and most of all,
system messed with mothers. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found somebody who could make me be good, could make me be true, could make my desperate worldview into a gift for you. Well, that's right, Mama. That's how cold we be. Take away your children and all your dignity. Well, that's right, Mama, 'cause you're in poverty. As far as we're concerned, you don't deserve to be free. Well, if you are married, how dare you have a child? And if you left your man, well, you must have gone wild. Well, that's right, Mama. We'll destroy you any way we can. As far as we're concerned, you're no good without a man. That's right, Mama. That's how cold we be. As far as we're concerned, you're in poverty.
It was late spring, an early weekday morning in 1950. As a clear blue San Francisco morning sky broke through the thick, cold gray fog, the bright yellow sunlight beamed through the old tattered-plaid curtains into a small window of the dimly lit one-room hotel that I shared with my mother, my 4 brothers, and sister. I was 8 years old. I remember that morning we were quietly sleeping on one of the old mattresses Mama had put down on the floor, when all of a sudden there was that knock at the door. Shaken and awakened by the loud knocking, I woke up very startled, my heart pounding like a racehorse as I lay there in still silence, remembering that Mama used to always tell us never to answer the door, yet for some reason, this time she did. As Mama slowly opened the door, I could see 2 dark shadows standing in the doorway, one holding a clipboard, the other holding a briefcase.
From as early on as I can remember, my mama would tell me horror stories of sexual, physical, emotional abuse, neglect, and starvation, and torture she endured at the many foster homes she was sent to as a child. My mama rarely cried, and she never touched or hugged me. Instead, she would retell her torture as someone would recant a case study for her dissertation. Her eyes would drop, become dark, and her voice would resemble a low rumble, and she would become in the terrified place of a scared child while remaining a cogent adult in the retelling. But she never really did anything about all that pain except tell me, her voice trailing off into a place I couldn't touch. One day she would often retell me was the first day she spent in the orphanage for poor parentless girls, an orphanage that bended its own rules of only housing poor white parentless girls for my poor African, Puerto Rican, Irish mama.
It will be $5 a month, paid on the 1st. Don't ever be late, Miss McTide. Otherwise, we'll have to turn your child back over to the state. Do you understand this requirement, Miss McTide?
Give me an H, give me an E, give me an L, L, T, H. Health care. Get hit by a car, slip on the floor, fall on the door, any flesh torn. Ponder dying or start lying if you are poor. Some people are blessed to not be stressed by the price of a suture or the cost of bed rest. But we in a society where it's a privilege to be healthy. And everything's about money. They said I flatlined on the table twice, once for 10 seconds. Doesn't seem like very long, does it? The pain in my neck grew from an ache to a bulge. Now the pain is raw and metallic, tasting like a fist.
Trade name, ecstasy, digital resistor, super baby mama, welfare queen.
Vivian, super baby mama, digital resistor, poverty scholar, and welfare queen.
Tracy Faulkner, mother, daughter, coordinator of the Family Resource Center at City College, and welfare queen.
Teacher. S to the U to the P to the E to the R, baby, mama. S to the U to the P to the E to the R, baby, mama. Welfare queen.
A poet, a writer, a property scholar, welfare queen.
That's being homeless, poor, and on welfare in this capitalist society. Daughter of thee, for without whom there would be no me. Mama Titibucio, poverty scholar, and a welfare queen